Hi everyone, so today I'll be showing you a very quick video. I created this very simple basic input error handler that will be used on JavaScript projects and on TypeScript project as well. Okay, so when we are dealing with basically the JavaScript project or Node.js project, we're always looking at input errors, the values that are coming from the input from the user, and we want to catch this error so that it will not crash our app. Right, so I created a very basic package to handle that. The package is here, and this is the address, so you could install it with npm install, and if you're on TypeScript you can use the import syntax, and if you're on JavaScript you can use the const requires syntax. So I already have it installed on this project. I'm working for a client, and we would want to catch this error, input errors such as the strings, numbers, and also added something like role privilege checking as well. So let's see how it works. So we installed it, so we just did error instance from node input error handler. That's where it's explained on the npm site. So here is it. So what you just have to do is, once you've imported this class, you can start using it. The class instance has been created already. Two methods. You have common general error method, and I think there's a second method, okay, string length error method and common general error method. So these two methods can be called. So the first method, common general error, checks for string values if they are available and ensure that the values that are coming in are string. Const string error equals to error instance dot can you see the two methods? So I'm using common general error, and this also takes into arguments. The first argument value is a string. You can see string, and this string accept array. So here you can put in the arrays of the stuffs you want to check. The string you want to catch the input error from. All right, so we want to catch these errors from here. So we could say user info dot first name. We want to check first name. User info dot country. We want to ensure that the country section is provided. User info dot email. We want to ensure that the email is also provided. User info dot first name. We want to be sure that the first name, last name. User info, just passing any string value you want to really check. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's just check out these ones. So we are checking first name, country, email, and last name. All right, first name. Okay, let's just check username. User info dot username. All right, so this is enough. So you can see now still on the same first argument. You can also check number. So you can see the number value. Also accept an array values. So this one ensures that what is coming in here is actually a number and it's also available. So we are checking in for a full number section, so this should be a number. For instance, it could be anything for you. So we are saying user info dot full number. So let's also check password. User info dot password. So we are done with the first argument. It also accepts second argument, which checks for row. So you can see row. Now that's the first string value. The row accepts a string. You're passing the row of the user that you want to test here. Then you also set the row that you want to test. You set the row, so you can see the set row value. The set row value accepts a string. So here we want to test if this user is admin. So what you now have to do is, if string value, if string error is available, if it's true, then return response or status or whatever it is you're doing. You're saying 500 and saying JSON, or you're passing in the string error. So that will send us the message to the front end. Let's test it. We already have some of them here, so let's test. The first name is Prince, and let us leave it empty, and let's check for this. This input value is required and cannot be empty. So you can see it shouldn't be empty. That's why it's telling you there is an input value that is actually empty, and this is okay. Let's remove this entire value and let's send. So it's not going to crash the app, it's going to catch it as an empty required content that is not available. So now let's test for the number. Okay, full number is supposed to be a number, but let's make it a string now. Because it's a string, is going to prevent it from going, because we are testing full number on the number value, right? So if we check it now, this value 1 must be a number value and cannot be empty. So it's telling you that this must be a number value and cannot be empty. So because it says we are testing the full number, you can see the full number, we tested the full number on number string value. So this is what actually was capturing that error. All right, and escape this by putting empty spaces here. Some users can actually come in here, add funny. So it will not let it go. It will see it as empty. You see, this input value must not be empty value. So all right, you just making sure that the strings that are needed are, so you can see it passed this place and now call this particular error that this number has to be a number and not a string. Currently it's a string. So if you remove this string value from it, it will pass now, because now it's now a number. All right, so let's make it pass. So you can see it as passed. The user has been created because it sees this as a number. So but how about checking the string, the length, which is also very important in when you're building web application. So the second method checks for string length or variable length. So we can say const error length or whatever you like. Let's say it's equals to error instance dot. So here's the second method, string length method. All right, this string length method accepts, let me see how many arguments. I think it takes 3. It takes 3. First value is string that accepts an array of strings. Then you provide the string that you want to test. So the first argument is string, and the value of that argument is string. It actually accepts an array of different strings. So it takes each of the values you provided in the string and tests it against these values. It's going to test against short minimum length and short max length. Now it's recommended that this one test for short text descriptions. All right, while the second argument tests for long strings. All right, so what you're going to do is take, for instance, we have user names, user filling this form, so we can ensure that, and as much as we've tested that they are not empty, we don't want them to just provide like M. Maybe their first name is now M, second name is M. We don't want them to do that. We want them to provide something reasonable. All right, so what we do is try the first argument, the first value in the argument, which is a string, and it takes in an array. All right, so you can put in all the stuff you want here. So let's put in everything we have. We want to test for all of these stuffs like name and username. So let's leave password. So let's check this, because they may have the same string length, minimum length and maximum. So minimum length is the least that you want. So now you have this, you just have to go after the array, have a comma after the first, and this is it. So you take short, so you can see the two values that you need: short max length, short minimum length. So short minimum length, so the minimum, it actually accepts a number. So the minimum we want each of these values to be provided by the user is 5. Is 4. Okay, let's say 4. All right, so maximum, what about maximum? We also want the next string value, short max, which also accepts a number. We don't want any of these values to be more than 20 letters. Long, you can see long minimum length. So the long minimum length for the password we want to test would be, we don't want anything less than 8. All right, so the password we have to be nothing less than 8. What else? Long max, we don't want the password to be more than 45 characters. Okay, more than okay, let's say more than 25 characters. We have to provide the value that we want to test. So what are we testing? We are testing password. So say we'll call the long string value, and we pass in user info dot password. Okay, this password was password. Okay, it actually accepts an array, so that's why it's telling me that the type string is not assignable to the type string array, so it's actually accepting an array. So I forgot, accept an array. And so if you have more values I want to test, you just put comma and keep adding all of them to test all of them for you at once. Error length, error length. So you just return the error length. So whatever error it sees, it will return it for you. Error length. But the username, we don't want it to be less than 4. We don't want it to be less than 4. So what we will do is we remove 1, 2. Let's leave it 3 letters. For the first name, 3 letters. So if you check this now, this value PRI that is starting with this must not be less than 4 letters. So you can see it sends me the error message instantly because this has to be 4 letters. We also said it shouldn't be more than I think we say it shouldn't be more than 20. It's actually saying it. So you can see this value, this value must not be greater than 20. So you can see it's capturing all the errors. Please download my package, use it for your pet projects to check for input errors like I've demonstrated for you. So use it. Let me know what you think, what can be improved upon. I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you.